Welcome back. It is Pottery Day. That's a self-proclaimed day. We proclaimed it, Pottery Day today. Good afternoon. I'm Roger Morgan. I'm the founder and CEO of Pottery. And with us today, two fabulous guests. We have Brooke Sloat, our Director of Product Development. Welcome, Brooke.
Thank you, Roger. Great to be here.
And we have Dr. Sandy Willis, one of our veterinarians on our advisory council. Welcome, Dr. Sandy.
Great. Hey, hi, everybody. Well, glad to be back.
Oh, good. Glad to have you back. Dr. Sandy is up in the Washington area, Seattle, Washington area. Brooke and I are here at the home office in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and we're excited today to talk about a topic that is very near and dear to, I think, all of our hearts who have pets. But this is a topic of anxiety with pets, but occasional aches and discomforts with pets. So we are going to talk about that. But before we do, and before we really dive in and get to hear all of what's on Dr. Sandy's mind on that topic to help us, we're gonna have a little fun first. Shall we have some fun? Let's do it. All right, let's have a little fun. We've been, so this Pottery Day, this has been really fun. And we've got every hour on the hour, we're going live with a different topic, different guests, and it's been fabulous. And the turnout's been wonderful. The topic, the conversation's been wonderful. And we've also been giving away door prizes, basically a raffle or a drawing. So
really good ones, guys, really good ones.
It's good stuff. So let me share my screen here and show you what we're giving away, and we'll do a drawing here in just a second. But this, we've got beautiful blankets, beautiful beds. If your name is drawn, you can choose anything on this site. Our beds, our blankets. If you would prefer to choose bowls, some of our dog bowls, you can choose 2 bowls or a blanket or a bed, and they're beautiful. So you've got lots to choose from there if your name is selected. And we're doing that drawing every hour on the hour at the top of the hour. So I'm going to read the 3 names that were drawn. And if you would like to be part of that drawing for the next hour, all you got to do is go on to one of the Pottery websites, the replicated site. Whoever invited you, go to their Pottery website and place an order. And you'll immediately be put in the drawing for the next drawing at the top of the hour. The other way you can enter the drawing is to become a Pet Pro today. And if you do, your name will automatically go into the drawing. And we draw every hour, and the number of names just keeps growing as more orders and more Pet Pros sign up. So the sooner you place your order or sign up as a Pet Pro, the more chances you have, I guess, as the day goes along for the drawing. But let me go to the magician, Karen, who has done the spinning or the drawing, and the winners. We've got 3 new winners for today's drawing are this right now is drawing Faith Corey from Illinois, Chris Hansen from Utah, and Maggie Rentges. I may have mispronounced that, Maggie, but from Florida. And all 3 of you will receive an email with instructions on how you can claim your prizes. But congratulations, you guys. Those are wonderful prizes. I know I personally have multiple of those, of all of those dog beds, bowls, and blankets at our house. And they're beautiful, they're luxurious, and they really help us pamper our pets. So with that, all right. I've got, I guess I have one more treat to share to tee up this topic today. And this is a brand new video, never been aired before. We're going to share actually 2 videos while we're on this live today, at least 2, maybe more, but at least 2. And the first one, both of these have never been aired before. So you are going to be the first to ever see these videos. And I think this first one will really tee up nicely the topic of pet anxiety and how this really is an issue that many pets deal with. So I'm going to go here, share my screen, and go to our Pottery YouTube page, and I'm going to select this video here.
Anxiety is a real problem for all pets, cats and dogs. About 1 in 3 of them are affected. It may be so mild that they're just sitting there trembling in their little fur and drooling a lot. It can lead to the other extent where they're damaging themselves and things in the home.
Some of the most common things that cause anxiety in our pets are thunderstorms, fireworks, loud noises, actually going to the vet or the groomer, or even separation anxiety.
There are a lot of ways to treat anxiety. It may be coming to someone such as myself and getting a prescription medication. But if it's mild, or maybe you're a pet parent that doesn't want your pet to be on medication all the time, there are safe, effective alternatives.
Pawtree's Chillax contains healthy, natural ingredients formulated at the right levels that work synergistically to help keep your pet calm. It has ingredients like hemp seed oil and hemp seed powder, passion flower, chamomile, and ginger, which help reduce anxiety, alleviate nausea, and promote relaxation.
They can just chill out while we have tons of family over, and they aren't as stressed out as they used to be and just meowing and going crazy. And I wouldn't see my cat AJ for 3 days afterwards. And so now with the Chillax, it's just been life-changing for them because they can just come out and they're normal.
Pawtree's Chillax is safe, it's effective. You can give it to your pet every day if you need something to calm your pet naturally.
There you have it.
That's good.
Brand new video. So yeah, it's a fun one that really, it's a short video that really tees up a serious issue. I know we have 2 dogs, and one of our 2 dogs absolutely deals with this. So Brooke, I'll turn it over to you, and we can really tap into the wisdom of Dr. Sandy and all that she can help all of our guests out there in Facebook land learn.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm seeing there you go. I was just, okay.
Right,
I wanted to see Sandy's beautiful face. Okay, so let's talk about anxiety. We're often asked if anxiety truly is a thing for pets. So is it? And what are the signs that a pet parent might see to determine if their pet is anxious?
Absolutely it exists in our pets. Cats and dogs, I'm sure I'm a cat person. That's the only pet I've ever had. Love dogs. There's dogs at work here. People know their animals. And we even show signs of anxiety a little bit differently as well, too. Some of us are cool, calm, and collected, but hide anxiety. And I think a lot of pets could potentially do that. And we've talked earlier about separation anxiety in dogs, where they can actually chew through a house, a door, just massively destroy things. Very obvious. But you guys, pet parents, your pets, and a cat could hide more. I've been home a little bit more. My cats all sleep together. I have 3 of them. They're fighting a little bit, I think, and I work from home and I'm on the phone, so I let them sleep, but I think that's a little bit of a sign that they're a little bit anxious. It may be not eating as well, maybe over grooming. Cats tend to excessively groom a little bit if they're anxious. Your pets. And we've talked about in the profession how wonderful it is during this really challenging time that people are adopting pets. You're spending a lot of time with your pets. I love that we have such a bond with them. But they feel off of us too. I know my pets probably are most anxious when I'm concerned about something and I walk around the house talking to myself about it. And they don't know who this COVID person is, but they really want me to quit having them in my life. So they do, and sometimes you recognize it or you don't. That's why when you finally address it with something like a Chillax, that supplement, it's just amazing that you can really see the difference. I think we just don't recognize it until we give a pet something that's calming, or we calm down, or the situation calms down. So yeah, it's a hidden thing.
Yeah, they pick up a lot, with COVID-19, a lot of people are anxious. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of, there's just a lot going on. Kids are home. You're home. It's a whole different world for your pets. They're used to you all leaving and them having the house, right? And so it's just a very different time. So Sandy, you mentioned separation anxiety. So when you go off to work and leave them during the day and they want to be with you. But what are some of the other triggers for a pet to be anxious?
Oh, like Dr. Tony mentioned, all kinds of different things. Pets don't, and neither do people, like change. So anything changing in the environment. Then it could be noise. I mean, everybody knows that noise phobias around particular times of year, it's noisy. My cats don't mind fireworks. Some animals, it's a lot. Having people over at the house. I mean, the pet pros, they were just interviewed. Anybody coming to the house, that'll trigger that. Yeah, any changes whatsoever. Going to the veterinarian. We've talked earlier about cats don't like to come to the veterinarian, and there's a movement to really make it, less stressful for cats to come to the veterinarian. At this time where we're doing a lot of curbside stuff at the veterinarian, some people are mentioning that's actually working better because animals get to spend the time in the car and then they just come in and come back. But it can be really multifactorial, and it can be just simple as a simple change in routine.
Okay, excellent. So what can pet parents do? I mean, I of course you had mentioned chillax, certainly they can give a supplement, but what are some of the other things that are out there that you've heard about, or, that a pet parent might want to look into?
Well, we talked earlier about the fact that, and you mentioned that with separation anxiety, it can get really severe. And one of the number one things we see as veterinarians are behavior problems. And so a lot of general GPs, I'm a specialist in internal medicine, but we see behavior problems a lot. And there are medications that we can give for severe separation anxiety. Some of them are similar to what we take, but a lot part of it is working with the pet to help them. I mean, for separation anxiety, that's behavior modification, where an owner actually works with a pet to start out leaving gradually for short periods of time, coming back, rewarding the pet. Because behavior is not all just about giving medications. And in human, there's anti-anxiety drugs, but it's trying to reduce anxiety in your life. So there's behavior modification. There's activities to do with pets. A lot of work been done on like thunder jackets and things like that people, like squeeze shoot, but pets feel safe in sort of things like that. So there's some over-the-counter things that people can do. And if it is serious, contact the veterinarian, because they may bring in a behavior specialist, because again, it can be really challenging. A bad behavior problem really needs to see a specialist. But on the other hand, just simple anxiety to relax them a little bit is where like a supplementation like chillax would come in, just to calm them down a little bit. I think most people can realize when it's a significant problem. And then other things like loud noises, putting the pet in a quiet area. When people come over, putting them in a quiet area, where back room, maybe having some music on, their favorite blanket. That's simple things if you can, to avoid the difficult situation. My cats are very friendly, outgoing, but they're not used to having people at the house. So I always give them an out, because I don't want to give them an out to the outside. But when people come over, they, just calming area, safe place, those kind of things. So I've gone from like extreme to the behaviors, to the supplements like chillax, to just making the environment less stressful. Is trying to avoid that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's really wonderful. A lot of times, I know this works for puppies, and I've seen this actually with my personal dogs. But if you leave them some clothing, so a shirt that you've worn or something, so that they have something of yours with them, that could be very comforting. I know when bringing a puppy home, if you rub a blanket or a towel on their mom or their siblings, they have that comfort, when they're in a strange, new home. People have also asked a lot about oils and pheromones and diffusers and things like that. And the thing that I'm finding, that I'm hearing, is that, those can work, certainly, but you have to have that pet in that room with the diffuser. If the pet leaves the room, the diffuser is not going to work, right? Because the pet's not going to be breathing it in. But okay, so let's talk a little bit. You mentioned about again, chillax, and that it's a natural supplement that would help. Can you tell us, why would chillax be helpful? And I think it, basically focusing a little bit on the ingredients.
Well, yeah, the ingredients and that Tony listed them off are just an amazing. I mean, these natural supplements with these amazing ingredients: the hemp oil, the hemp seed. What else do we have in here? Passion flower, chamomile, and ginger. These just sound calming because sometimes. And we take the same thing. L-tryptophan, increases levels of serotonin, helps promotes our relaxation. I think that's a component that's in turkey. That's why a lot of times we get kind of sleepy after
Thanksgiving. Yeah, after a turkey meal.
Yeah. And we talked about melatonin. So the ingredients are just a great combination of natural supplements that are calming in teas and other sources that we get. My approach would be, and you mentioned the diffusers and things, to try things that are simple. Sometimes those work. When cats get kind of pissy at each other, pardon the pun, but urinary problems is what we're talking about. It can be challenging. I think the diffusers help somewhat. I've always maintained they make me feel better, and then I just don't care about my pet's problems. But if putting the pets in an environment that's comfortable for them with the socks, beds, the music is still not enough. And you don't have to wait for a grandiose thing. Is if the chillax really allows them to be less stressful, and I think an owner can really feel that. It just, besides the fact that just to have a calm, relaxing, maybe a little sleepy period during the day when you have friends over and things like that, just really makes a lot of sense. People will get a sense, I'm pretty sure, when it's really serious and overt destruction. But you brought up a point, Brooke, that sometimes we don't know our pets are stressed. And they're great, can be tried on a pet even if you're not sure if they're stressed. And if they really feel a lot calmer about the situation, you just figured out by trying chillax that they were stressed. And sometimes we try things in veterinary medicine. We can't prove it, but we try something and it really works well, then we have our answer.
People have asked why we've added chamomile and ginger. And so I just, those are great to alleviate nausea. And when pets are stressed, they do sometimes become nauseous, and then other things, can certainly happen. So, but I just want to make sure that people listening could, understand why those ingredients were so important. So
thanks for bringing that up. The nausea component is really important, and that makes pets not feel very well. But that's another. The ginger is used for that quite frequently.
Exactly.
I've traveled a bit in the past, and people recommend taking ginger.
Yes, no, absolutely. So there's lots of occasions when a pet would have anxiety. You've named off, and between the video and we've named off a lot of different occasions why a pet would need something to just help them, where they would be anxious and would need something to help them feel less anxious. And we're getting rave reviews. I'm watching the comments about how chillax works. I'd like to change gears for a moment and talk about when pets. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just before you switch gears, I saw a question on this topic of separation anxiety. Could I just interject with that really quickly?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I love questions. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. This is Zoe said, she's got the Great Dane. I think she was on a previous segment with us. She said, my Dane has separation anxiety. When we leave, even for 15 minutes, she pees. When we are home, she never has a problem. She can hold it for more than 8 hours. We've tried crating her, and she will pee in the crate. Any suggestions?
Yes, that separation anxiety it's a huge thing. And leaving and they may certainly want to talk to their veterinarian, because I'm in internal medicine, have different expertise, which makes your advisory panel really great. But trying to leave for short periods, and maybe it's even shorter than that, and then really reward them, with pets, could be a treat, one of the supplements that we have, is just to reward them. And maybe that's just, you go out the door and you come back in, And then you do that a few times, and then you try to get it longer and longer and see if that works, so that they and the reward is you, the owner. Is the reward is your hugs and kisses and you. And then beyond that, that would just be a simple suggestion, is try to do that. But contact your veterinarian, because this is something that your general practitioners see a whole lot. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing you want to rule out, I mean, it sounds very much like the pet is anxious, but you just want to make sure that there's no other issue because of the urine, the urine issue.
And I was focused because most urinary tract things wouldn't be, if they held their urine for 8 hours. But you're right. I mean, anything like that, behind any medical thing, behavioral thing, we want to make sure that medically everything's okay. And it could be that probably is behavioral, but maybe that's the way that pet is showing a urinary tract problem. I think if they were drinking a lot and urinating a lot, that you would see more of that during the day. And a lot of times urination is kind of submissive sort of thing, or it can be excitement. So there are other aspects of that beyond maybe the separation anxiety that maybe somebody else other than me would be able to trigger on.
With separation anxiety, I mean, the main thing is, so they tear up something. I mean, I know you come home, you're upset, but they're not doing it on purpose. They just want to be with you. So if they tear up a door, they're going to the door that they last saw you go out of because they're trying to get to you. So they're not trying to do, they're not doing this in a mean, malicious way. They're just doing it because they want to be with you. It's that bond.
It's absolutely that. And then the idea behind gradually increasing the time you're away and rewarding them is making them feel that you are coming back.
Yes, that's key.
And that you're coming back and you're going to get lots of love. And if and really and there's things with just jingling the keys and not going out the door, or you go out the door and come back in. It's gradually, so the doggy gets a sense that yes, mom or dad's coming back, and even if it's a little long, they're still coming back. Hopefully you come back. And so but to do that, but sometimes they're just so panicked that and it could be something as simple as the supplements and shellac or something else to help supplement that a little bit.
Yeah, for an event-based thing. So I know that we wanted to also talk about aches and discomfort. So when pets are feeling a little bit off. So let's go ahead and change gears to that, because I think, Roger, you wanted to show a video on our aches away.
Yes, let me do it. I'll cue that up. And by the way, I saw, Alicia, your question about bladder crystals. I would invite you to come back at 5 p.m. Central. We'll have Dr. Bernadine Cruz on at that time to talk about bladder issues and hairball problems, and certainly ask that question then. But let me now share my screen, and we are going to look at another video. This is also the first time we've showed this video. Go back here to our wonderful YouTube page, and I'm looking for our Aches Away. Let's watch this one together.
Pets can have aches and discomfort from doing things just in their normal life. Jumping, playing, even cold weather can make them achy. Limping and moving slowly are telltale signs of this. They also experience aches and discomforts from minor surgical procedures and even dentals.
There are medications that you can use, but like any medication, they can have potential side effects. And there are times when you need something and you just don't have it on hand. There are times when you may not want to use a medication, pain medication from your veterinarian. You want to use something that's natural, something that's an alternative to those medications. Paw Trees Aches Away is a great one. It's also less expensive.
Paw Trees Aches Away contains healthy, all-natural ingredients which help to manage your pet's discomfort. It has ingredients like glucosamine, hemp seed oil, and hemp seed powder, and a blend of omega-3, 6, and 9s. All of these have an anti-inflammatory effect and help to reduce your pet's discomfort.
And if we take him on a long walk, a long hike, he's definitely feeling it the next day. And so the Aches Away is the perfect product. It's all natural. It's a chew. It's fantastic. He loves the taste of it. And it just helps him feel so much better and just relieves that discomfort that he's in.
Paw Trees Aches Away is a natural supplement. It's safe enough that if you needed to, you could give it every day. I think that every pet parent should have it in their medicine cabinet.
Okay.
Excellent. So we're talking about aches away, and basically, this is something that you could use every day, but it's something that you don't need to use every day, but you should want to have this handy. I'm going to give you just a real quick story. My dog it was a little after 10 o'clock at night. I'm telling the girls, let's go outside to go potty, and then we're going to go to bed. They normally all come, especially when I open the door. Maggie didn't come. She's on the couch. She's not jumping off the couch. She's looking at me, and she won't jump. So finally I'm like, come on, Maggie. So I go and I get her and I put her down, and then she starts moving very slowly. She's not feeling very well, okay, at all. And so I'm thinking, I look at the clock. I said, it's after 10 o'clock. I'm going to have to go to the emergency vet. And then I remembered I had some aches away. This was right before we launched it. And I had some in my home. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to try this. In the meantime, I had already gotten myself ready for bed. So I went to go get dressed, and I gave it to her. Within 10 minutes, she was fine. She was walking normally, acting fine. So, I took her to bed. Everything was fine. And then the next morning, of course, when we wake up, I'm checking, because then I'm going to take her to the vet's office, and she was 100%. So, it for me, it was the difference, because if I took her to the vet, to the emergency place, no less than $2-3 at least $100, for testing and things like that. And then I just gave her 1 aches away. I mean, it was so well worth it, right? So it's something that you kind of want to always have on hand. When are some of the times that you might see a pet have an issue, with this? What are some of the things that they might be doing that, might cause an issue?
It's interesting, Brooke, you brought it up, because your doggy was just on the couch. So it was just like, well, what was going on with that? But maybe, in some activity before then. And, it's the same, like when we go out for a walk or something and maybe things feel a little off, we're not going to run down to the emergency clinic. No, if we couldn't stand them, that would be different. But no, I mean, we were talking about, in light of everybody being home, is dogs are getting so much more walked. And just to be a little bit of sore, dogs have similar orthopedic stuff that we do, but they can get a little sore, especially when they get older. You saw that beagle walking along, but just feeling a little off, maybe a little tweak in the back, or it's usually maybe the hips, or, and a lot of dogs are prone to osteoarthritis in the hip, but anything where they've had increased activity, getting off the couch, jumping up on the bed, those kinds of situations, going for more walks. Memorial Day weekend, you're going to go out because you've been home for a long time. So just a longer walk. It's not that there's an orthopedic problem. And again, it's distinguishing what's really, so anybody can go to the veterinarian if they're anxious about their dog. But for you, it was late. Why don't we try with the glucosamines, the hemp oil, hemp seed powder, the omega-3, 6s, and 9, the essential fatty acids. Let's just do something that makes sense, and then let's let the doggy not move for a while, relax, and just see if it works. Because that quick recovery like that, that just makes perfect sense. I mean, those are all good ingredients that we know are so important to joint health.
And it's interesting, because the thing that we do at Poultry is we use incredible ingredients, but we, in addition to the ingredients that you listed off, the hemp seed oil powder, etc., we use a blend of herbs. And herbs also are so helpful to alleviate pain and soreness and things like that. So we put the two things together, and it really works so well. And aches away can be used for, as well as chillax, for both dogs and cats. So just in general, what would you say would be the main takeaway for pet parents with regard to an aches away product?
I think the main takeaway, and you mentioned, I just want to say in cats too, we're really looking at arthritis. Really, cats, they're so light that it's weight. And we talked about earlier, weight was a significant problem when you have joint aches, and cats are so small, but arthritis is really a significant problem in them. And I think the main takeaway is, I would always say, if you're in a panic, if your pet really seems in discomfort and really painful, want to discourage anybody if they're concerned having their veterinarian take a look at them, but just realize that pets are a lot like us. They have little aches and pains. And if you know your pet and you feel comfortable, these are great products. We use a lot of these products ourselves. It's really neat that the supplements like Aches Away are, like you mentioned, are just so, it's kind of a holistic approach that what would be used in the treatment of more significant joint disease. And so these are things that you recognize that your pet may have a problem. And then I would encourage, if they're just a little off, or I would try it on, your dog goes out for a long walk, see how they recover maybe a little bit faster with this. So it's not for every day, but there may be situations that you don't know your dog's a little uncomfortable because they're just kind of bucking it up. Depends on the dog breed. But it's just the idea that we can very simply, with great products, maybe take care of some of the simple problems that pets have, and make them more comfortable.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
if it doesn't respond, then yeah, please, anytime, call the veterinarian.
Yeah, I kind of always, and I kind of liken it to, if I have a headache, I don't take aspirin, or I don't take ibuprofen every day, but I have it on hand to use it. And this is one of those on-hand medicine cabinet type things that you want to have around. So it's not something, as I said, you could give it every day if you wanted to. It's safe to do, but you don't need to. A lot of times what I've been hearing people doing is when they have their pets have had some surgical procedures or whatever, where they have been put on some medication, this is a nice supplement so they don't have to be on so much medication. And
pain, it's interesting. Treatment of pain in veterinary medicine has expanded since I became a veterinarian. I mean, amazingly over the top. And cats are not able to handle narcotics. We have to be really careful with that. But we've really expanded it so that even routine spays and neuters and simple things, they are treated with pain. And this is a natural progression after that. I think everybody sitting in today is going to hear about so many different products that Pawtree makes, supplements that are going to be great to have on hand, and for just these everyday conditions that come up. And it makes it, like you said, Brooke, for us, we don't go running in. I have a bad knee. Eventually I'm going to have something done on that. But if I tweak it slightly, I do a little physical therapy, and then I take a little, non-steroidal or things like that. It's just, that makes common sense. But there's so many, so that we're able to keep the pet, not stress them out, and just handle and make their quality of life a little bit better for just the everyday things that go on.
Yeah, and another example, Nancy wrote in that Bela and Sapphire play so hard that some days they get an Aches Away chew along with their Joint Support Plus, which they get every night on those days that they play extra hard and extra rough. And whether it's with each other, whether it's your pet with you, or their two-legged siblings, your kids, I mean, it's, when they roughhouse, sometimes someone could hurt a little bit. So thank you. I think this gives us a really good idea about how to use Aches Away and what it's actually for.
Brooke, there's a question here that this may be able to answer this for both Aches Away and Chillax, but Katrin writes in, is it better to give your pet in the morning or at night?
What, Aches Away or Chillax?
I think we could answer for both.
Either. I can tell you from...
Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's really when the event, it does not matter. Okay, it's when the event happens. So when you're talking about Chillax, if there's a storm coming in and it's 6 a.m., I'm giving my pet Chillax, then it's when the event is happening, regardless of time of day. That doesn't matter. And Aches Away, you'd be giving that when the pet is having some sort of a, painful situation. Do you agree, Sandy, with that?
Yeah, it would depend on, kind of the half-life or how long the ingredients are around. But I agree. I totally agree. As I think a little bit ahead of time, a stressful event with the Chillax, if you can do that, sometimes you just don't. And then, yeah, I don't know if it's kind of a preventative. I mean, with the Aches Away, it would be more when they're having the problem to get maximum effect. And you indicate with your dog, it Aches Away. I mean, that was, it took effect pretty immediately sort of situation. So you want the maximum effect, and things can be absorbed really quickly in the GI tract to be when the pet's in maximal discomfort. It's kind of experimenting with it a little bit, but I totally agree that that would be the thing to do.
Yeah, that's very same dog that I have has the same instant, relatively within 10, 15 minutes with allergy support. It's the same type of thing. So, maybe it's just her. With regard to the chillax, if you can get that into their system, we say on the bottle 30 minutes in advance. Sometimes if you have really stressed pets, I would do even longer. I would do an hour to 2 hours. You want it in their system. When they get that anxious, they start pacing and panting and drooling, and you're not going to get them to eat anything, okay? Because they don't feel well. They start getting nauseous. They just want to escape. And so it's better to get it in them sooner than later. And then you can give more chillax. You can give more than one over the course of a 24-hour period. So it's so safe to use, and it really, really works. I'm reading a lot of the comments that are coming in, and it's amazing the comments that are coming in.
Personal experience for people, because you learn about how these supplements work on your own pet. So, how soon before something happens, you're right, because you're trying to have, with the chillax, be calm when something comes along. So you play with it a little bit to see, so your own pet, and given that they're really safe. Maybe you end up taking your dog for a walk and that they start slowing. You're not trying to really get them slow down their walk, but that like a half an hour into it, they're starting. So you can play around with these to see what's best for your pet. Like you said, they're very safe, and just depends on what situations you have. Brooke, you're really good with the dog thing, because having the cats, they chase each other occasionally, and it's, I've not really seen them be lame, but sometimes they go crazy. You know how cats are. It's like 5 seconds of insanity, and then it's just like, wow, how does everybody feel after that? And so that might be a time when they slow down a little bit. You just learn your own pet to see. And then the proof is, and that's why you want people to try these supplements. Proof, we can tell you all about them, but to see really how your dog or cat does, that's what the people calling in to share. This is what's amazing, because word of mouth and your own testimonial is worth everything.
Well, that's a really good point, because you need to try these things, and there's no risk. Roger, why don't you talk about this? There's no risk to trying anything.
It's a great close, and I'll thank you, Brooke. One of the things as the founder of the company that I feel so strongly about is the uncompromising approach that we take to every product we develop and launch. We're just uncompromising, meaning uncompromising in the quality, in the ingredients we choose, the source of those ingredients, the manufacturing partners, the formulations. We make products that work, period. And if it's not going to work and deliver real, meaningful, lasting, results for a pet, then we don't have any interest putting it in our Patri brand. And so I can commit to you that as the founder of the company, and I do that not just with my words, but with my actions. And that is with our 100% satisfaction guarantee. And Dr. Sandy, I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because, it really is, seeing is believing, and putting this into action by, if you've watched this live today and you have a pet with any of these issues we've talked about, go try our products. It's just that simple. Go try the products and see for yourself. And the great news is, if they work, which I'm confident they will, you will have a lifetime of wonderful benefit that you'll provide your pet and yourself. And if they don't work, which I'm sure that won't be the case, but if they don't work, we'll give you all your money back. So there's literally no risk, and the upside is wonderful, and the downside is zero downside. So I do hope that you will take action and try these products. And by the way, as I mentioned at the beginning of this particular session, this is Patri Day. So every hour on the hour, we have another session. And as we enjoy hearing from different guests at the top of the hour, each time we will do a drawing for a free bed, blankets, dog bowls. These are wonderful, beautiful gifts, prizes. And to be eligible, all you need to do is go on to Patri, go to the replicated site of the person who share this event with you, and buy something. And when you place an order today, you automatically go in the drawing for the rest of the day. And the other way you can get in that drawing is to become a Pet Pro, and you'll be automatically entered into the drawing as well if you become a Pet Pro today. So with that in mind, I know this has been wonderful, Dr. Sandy, to have you on. For those of you who have not gotten enough of Dr. Sandy, which I know I have not gotten enough of Dr. Sandy, I don't think we ever will, but we will have Dr. Sandy back at 7 p.m. Central, and we are going to talk about pet food seasonings with Dr. Sandy. And in the meantime, it is 20 minutes away from our next guest, and I'll announce that now. At 3 p.m. Central, we will have Dr. Tony Kramer back on, and he will be helping us talk about digestive health. That's an absolutely hot topic for all pet parents. The GI tract is one of the most common reasons that people take their pets in to see the vet. We're going to hear some great advice. We have another some video to share, and we'll do some more drawings. It's going to be a lot of fun. So,
and I want to add just one thing. I'm sorry, Roger.
I had one too.
Yeah, I've been looking at the comments for those people who are, not 100% sure. I don't know if I want to try this even with the 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't take our word for it. Read the comments. Watch this again. Read the comments. These people are writing in on their own. They've tried it. They love it. And someone also brought up something which I forgot to mention, which is very important. I learned this myself. Nail trims. Chillax works for nail trims really, really well. Okay. And and someone wrote that in, and I just wanted to make sure that people think about that. I'm sorry, Sandy, one more.
No, that's a good point, because I was going to mention with Aches Away is and Dr. Denny McFetry, who does the work that she did with Lap of Love, is sometimes dogs get really arthritic in their very older age, and we start really looking at quality of life. And anything, it's a lot of times it's mobility kind of things. And so there's we got pain meds and stuff like that, but something like Aches Away, again, people don't realize how achy animals can be sometimes. So we talked about the overactive dog, but later in life when they're really slowing down, these supplements are really worth trying, because these dogs are getting older. They can't do very much, but if they feel comfortable, we feel a lot better. And sometimes people don't want to go to the vet, don't want to do it. All right, let's just try something. So I just want to put that comment in, and then you threw in the nail trim. So we got it. And I'm excited to come back and talk about hot pairings. My favorite topic is appetites and stuff like that. So I'm excited.
All right. Excellent.
Well, thank you both. Brooke, Dr. Sandy, appreciate you being on. And for everybody out there, we appreciate you viewing and being part of Pottery Day. We'll see you back here at 3 p.m. Central for our next featured guest, Dr. Tony, talking about digestive health. We'll see you then.
Enjoy your day, guys. Bye. Okay.